Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.
I would like to open an account today.
What kind?
I want to open a checking account.
You need to keep a minimum balance.
How much is it?
You need at least $100 in your account.
Is that all?
Yes, that's the minimum.
What happens if I don't meet that requirement?
You will get a fine.
How much?
It's going to be $25.
Welcome to Lincoln Bank. What can I help you with, sir?
I'm not sure if I'm at the right counter, but I need some advice on mortgages. Can you help me?
Unfortunately, no, I can't. But our specialist can. Please take a seat and our mortgage advisor will come out to see you.
A specialist? That's excellent, thanks.
No problem, sir. He'll be with you in just a minute. Could I get you something to drink while you are waiting?
A black coffee with 2 sugars would be much appreciated, thanks. Hello again. What can I do for you today?
Yes, I'm back. It's nice to see you again. I'm here about those documents.
Ah yes. The ones from Sapporo we were dealing with yesterday?
That's right. I had a phone call asking me to come back in, about rejecting them?
Well, we were contacted by your manager and he said.
Yes, we talked about it and thought it was better and significantly quicker to ask the company to pay a discrepancy fee.
The customer got back to us this morning and they have agreed to pay a discrepancy fee of $100.
That's wonderful news. I'm glad we decided to rethink our actions. It's all turned out for the best this way. Thank you for helping us to fix that little problem.
May I ask you a few questions about insurance?
Yes.
Now we've given a CIF Shanghai price for some steel plates. What insurance rate do you suggest we should get?
Well, obviously, you won't want all risks cover.
Why not?
Because they aren't delicate goods and won't likely be damaged on the voyage. FPA will be good enough.
Then am I right in understanding that FPA doesn't cover partial loss for the nature of particular average?
That's right. On the other hand, a WA policy covers you against partial loss in all cases.
Are there any other clauses in marine policies?
Oh, lots of them. For instance, war risks, TEND and SICC.
Well, thank you very much for all that information. Could you give me a quotation for my consignment now?
Are you going to make an offer today?
Yes. My customer is in urgent need of the steel plates.
Okay, I'll get this rate right away.
Thank you.
This is our rock bottom price, Mr. Lee. We can't make any further concessions.
If that's the case, there's not much point in further discussion. We might as well call the whole deal off.
What I mean is that we'll never be able to come down to your price. The gap is too great.
I think it unwise for either of us to insist on his own price. How about meeting each other halfway so that business can be concluded?
What is your proposal?
Your unit price is $100 higher than we can accept. When I suggested we meet each other halfway, I meant it literally.
Do you mean to suggest that we have to make a further reduction of $50 in our price? That's impossible.
What would you suggest?
The best we can do will be a reduction of another $30. That'll definitely be rock bottom.
That still leaves a gap of $20 to be covered. Let's meet each other halfway once more. Then the gap will be closed and our business completed.
You certainly have a way of talking me into it. All right, let's meet halfway again.
I'm glad we've come to an agreement on price. We'll go on to the other terms and conditions at our next meeting.
Yes, there's one other point I wish to clear up.
What is it?
My friends in business circles all seem to be of the opinion that the U.S. import and export corporations have become more flexible in doing business recently.
Yes, they're right. In fact, we have either restored or adopted international practices in our foreign trade.
I'm glad to hear that. With a view to expanding and further enhancing the bilateral relations between our two parties, and in particular, exchanging timely views on specific problems in the execution and enforcement of contracts, is it possible for us to have a representative that could stay permanently in Washington, D.C.?
Basically speaking, yes, we welcome the establishment of tentative offices by foreign companies in Washington, D.C. Of course, there are more details to be attended to. We cannot settle it in a few words.
Yes, of course. I'll call my home office tonight and let them know about it. When do we meet again?
How about tomorrow morning at 9?
Good. I'll come back tomorrow, and we can then discuss it more specifically.
Mrs. Wong, would you give us an idea of the price you regard as workable?
As I said before, your price is so high that we find it difficult to make a bid. We hope you will take the initiative and bridge the gap.
Just to comply, we're ready to reduce the price by 5%. I hope this concession of ours will get the ball rolling.
So do we. Certainly it's a step forward on your side. But the gap is still too wide.
The ball is in your court, Mrs. Wong. What price would you suggest?
To make your offer workable, I think you should take another step down as big as the one you've just taken.
That won't do. You see, our profit margin is very narrow. It simply can't stand such a big cut.
I hate to disappoint you, Mr. Brown, but if that's the case, we have no alternative but to cover our requirements elsewhere. Do think it over, please. We sincerely hope our discussion will come to a successful conclusion.
Well, I'm not authorized to agree to such a big reduction. Would you mind waiting a day or two, until I get a reply from the Home Office?
Not at all. Shall we meet again, say, on Friday morning?
Good. Friday morning at 9.
Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.